There's been new developments and heartbreaking news in the Quinton Simon case. But first, it looks like little missing Quinton Simon's mother will no longer be partying it up and chucking back shots of Patron for a very long time. And reports are coming in that after scouring a local dump for the past month in Georgia, Quinton Simon is believed to have been found. So now, let's get into it. Little 20-month-old Quinton Simon was last seen on October 5th. His mother, Leilani Simon, told authorities that her boyfriend was the last to see him. Also said that Quinton's father took him, in a different story, but that proved to be a lie, as Quinton's father, his biological father, had an alibi. She also told dispatchers that she believes someone came and took Quinton from his playpen before 9 a.m. and then she woke up and there was an open door. And you may remember that she also texted Quinton's babysitter not to come in that day. Then the authorities said that they believed that little Quinton was dead and they believed that he was in a dumpster. The same day when they announced that, Leilani was seen with her mom, Billy Joe Howell, and they were partying it up and throwing this shots of Patron while having a great time. She later did an interview, and I did that in a previous video, with her mom by her side saying, if she was responsible, she'd walk herself to the police station, and her mom said, well, I would go with her. Now, as I said, I did do a video on that. I talked about the interview. I talked about Leilani and her pattern of when she lies. And I also compared her to a different case, the Megan Boswell case. Megan Boswell is a young mother who is on trial for killing her daughter, Evelyn Boswell. And Megan had all kinds of lies, and she made up a bunch of stuff, and she got charged not only with the murder but also fabricating these lies and doing false reports, etc. I did say that I believe the same thing's going to happen with Leilani, and here we are. Now let's talk about Quinton. He's been missing since October 5th, and the authorities were confident that Quinton was in that landfill, and they said they had evidence to back that up. They have been scouring for his remains, and a few days ago, on Friday the 18th, they found what they believe to be him, and that they've said for a while now that Leilani was the prime suspect. In reports, it said they scoured 1.2 million pounds of trash over a 30-day period, and then they found remains. In a press conference on Monday the 21st, the police chief said, on Friday, November 18th, 2022, law enforcement searchers uncovered what they believe to be human remains at the waste management landfill site. This afternoon, tests at the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia, provided preliminary confirmation that the remains are human remains. Further testing included DNA evidence is being conducted to confirm that the remains are in fact human and whether the remains are Quinton's. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but the FBI says that landfill searches are usually only successful 5% of the time. So after scouring 1.2 million pounds of garbage, they found little Quinton. The police chief says, we have every reason to believe that this will confirm the remains are Quinton. Now, Leilani was charged with malice murder, concealing the death of another person, false reporting, and making false statements. The chief says this is a heartbreaking development. From the beginning, we were hopeful we would find him alive and unharmed, but evidence has always pointed to the mother, and we believe his remains were found in the landfill. We have a high level of confidence that those are Quinton's remains. We felt that we needed to make the arrest today because that was the right thing to do. And the chief got emotional, and at one part, he talked about Leilani. Have a look.
Well, as we had said from the beginning with the landfill, we had every belief that Quinton was there in the landfill. Having found what we found on Friday and the preliminary findings from the FBI that we got today led us to make an arrest today. We feel that we have a very strong case. We have put thousands of hours into this, and we believed that this was the right move today to be able to do that. She doesn't deserve a Thanksgiving, quite frankly, if I can go off script a little bit. Quinton deserves that.
You said that you didn't believe any other arrests would be made. Are you guys looking into Billy Joe at all?
We are not.
Now, the chief also believes that this is a very strong case. So I'm believing that they have really strong evidence to back that up. They knew she was the prime suspect. They knew where to find Quinton, even though it took a month. but now he could be laid to rest. And if we rewind a little bit of time, Quinton's biological dad stated before this new development happened, he said, she's a terrible person, meaning Leilani, and she's going to jail or hell. She's evil. She shouldn't be here out in society. Leilani was taken into custody on Monday the 21st, and she's held at the Chatham County Jail while she's awaiting her bond hearing. I found out the date, and that will be held on Wednesday, November 23rd at 11 a.m. Let's have a chit chat below. What are your thoughts about this? Now, usually I wait until they have 100% confirmation, but it seemed like with the FBI and the Chatham County officers and what the preliminary results are, that it is Quinton. This outcome is absolutely unthinkable, and there's other children involved now without their mom, without their brother. It's just an all-round terrible, terrible case. And I want to say one more thing, because I know it affects the family and loved ones, and I know it affects people watching, and it really, we have to remember how this takes its toll on the first responders. You could see the chief visibly upset, others are visibly upset, and imagine sifting through 1.2 million pounds of garbage, hoping in one aspect to find this little boy, to put him to rest. And then also think about searching this 1.2 million pounds of garbage and thinking, oh my God, I don't want to find this little boy. I don't want it to be true. And then they end up finding him. Well, how fair is that? That these responders have to find this little boy in the state that he is. And remember, in the last month and a half, he would be decomposing. Not only that, it's very warm in Georgia. So we have a lot of things going on. Now you have somebody who is finding him and looking at the remains, knowing it's a 20-month-old child. It's unconscionable, and the effects on first responders is pretty scary. So lots of things happen. They have to deal with something that somebody else did to their own allegedly child. Not happy about this. I'm happy that Quinton in some aspects were found, but the pure evil is it's just pure evil. I'll keep you posted. We're going to be following this case, and stay tuned for updates. Mark your calendars, November 23rd at 11 a.m. Let's have a chit chat below. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and please like and please share this out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.